Welcome to the technical demonstration of the LifeWatch-ERIC Tesseract Virtual Research Environment EGI NIS workflows. We are going to start exploring the system by logging in. We type our LifeWatch EU user and the password. Once logged in, we get into the dashboard. In the dashboard, we can see Tesseract Beta. When clicking, it will open the EGI NIS workflows in a new tab. Once the page is loaded, we see the main layout. On the top right, we can find the user menu with the user account and the link to log out of the system. The first content that is displayed to the user is the personal space. This is an overview of all the data that the user has access to. And on the left, we have a list of all the workflows that this user has access to. This user has previously requested access to these workflows. Even though different workflows consist of different set of tools, all of them share three buttons in common: the Dashboard button, the Run a New Workflow button, and the Workflow Information button. Besides getting an overview of all the files that has been shared with the user can also edit, upload or delete files and folders that are in their personal space. The dashboard button of all the workflows is the place where the user can find the overview state of all the workflows that has been run previously or that are running currently. In the Run New Workflow button, you can execute a new experiment. Finally, in the Workflow Information button, you can see the workflow diagram and a scientific explanation about the workflow. You can also access the information page of each of the workflows. The ARMS European project is a genomics observatory and a collaboration of 20 European institutes. Our network of autonomous reef monitoring structures, ARMS, consists of 25 observatories who deploy individual settlement units in the vicinity of marine stations and long-term ecological research sites in European coastal waters and Antarctica. After a few months, they are brought up, and visual, photographic, and genetic assessments are made of the life forms that settled on the dam. This data will be used to assess the status of and changes in the hard bottom communities of these near-coast environments. This project began in 2019 and will run for as long as funding allows. The scientific goals are: 1. To identify newly arrived non-indigenous species at each ARMS site. 2. To track the migration of already known NIS in European continental waters. 3. To monitor hard bottom community composition over longer periods. And 4. To identify the essential biodiversity variables for hard bottom fauna, including non-indigenous species. In order to run a new ARMS workflow, The user has to click into the Run New Workflow button on the left panel, under the Arms section. The first piece of information displayed to the user is again a static diagram of the workflow. This gives an understanding of the required files to run this workflow and all the steps that will take place. As in the previous example, the user introduces a workflow description to identify the experiment. The next step for the user is to select the input genes for PEMA. For doing so, we developed a new tool. This tool displays the genetic samples on a map and the information about the samples on a grid. This tool can be made full screen for better filtering. And the map can be displayed or hidden. In order to help the user relating the grid information with the map, we developed a Show on Map tool. When clicking on it, the map centers and zooms on the selected sample. When the user knows which gene or genes wants to include as PEMA parameters, she or he can select them from the grid by just clicking on them. The selected genes are displayed at the bottom. This time, instead of selecting Do Me Testing data, we are going to try to upload our own data. The user can create a folder and then upload the data. Once the file is uploaded, the user can select the uploaded file as an input data. The next step is to introduce the parameters for PEMA. This can be done manually, introducing them one by one in the form, or uploading a parameters file. The next step for the user is to select the RIMS parameters. This is a latitude, a longitude, a latitude radius, and a longitude radius. To make it easy for the user, we developed a map where the user can zoom into a specific area and drop a marker. The marker will automatically get the latitude and the longitude position. The values can also be filled in on the right form. The last step is to click on Create New Workflow. Again, the user can see the inside of this running workflow by clicking on detailed information. Once again, when the workflow is successfully finished, the user can explore all the output data by component. The user can also then download the final result.